good dogs. All righty, welcome back to the bluegrass on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Today is, what is it, cameraman? The third video in our protection dog or scared dog series. Okay, Molly, come here. Okay, so this is the dog that we started with last Saturday. And you'll remember I came out and I sat in a chair and the dogs came out, and this dog, you know, she had a little go to pieces and did a little snarling, a little snapping, you know, and that video inspired a whole lot of expert commentary on YouTube. And I've been doing my best to address it, you know, because I think it's kind of fun to smash YouTube trolls now and again. But wow, the nonsense out there, guys, the pretend experts, it really, you know, really makes me laugh. Okay, but anyway, what we're doing today, Bella, come here, come here. Come on, Bella. Very nice. Is we're showing you how we go from the, making the transition from the mentor group to the peer group, right? Okay, so on Monday or Tuesday's video, I showed you we went out back and we took a walk with our mentor dogs. And around here, guys, I have, how many do I have now, cameraman? I got a whole giant group of dogs from 8 months old to about 15 years old around here that are my mentor dogs, and they're awesome. And for the most part, they're black labs, you know, but not all of them. I got some farm dogs, I got some different kinds of things. But anyway, so like my mentor dogs, that's really what I do, guys. I'm not claiming to be like the best dog trainer in the world. I don't even know what that means, okay? Here's what I do. I get dogs to come when they're called, be still when they're told, have good manners from your neighbor's perspective, start social situations off by being calm, attentive, and polite, and to refrain from behavior that's dangerous, destructive, or rude in all reasonable situations. That's my niche, right? Okay, that's what I do. I don't walk around and make dogs hold their heads in uncomfortable positions and stare at me while we walk. Where would I do, what would I do that for, right? Okay, when I go places, I'm going hiking, I'm going canoeing, I'm going picnicking, going fishing. All I need is for the dog to hang around and not make bad choices, right? It's like with for any of you guys that are parents, you know what you want out of your children. You want them just to not make bad choices. So what you tell them when they leave the house, you say, hey, make good choices tonight, okay? And if you've done a good job as a parent, then more often than not, they make good choices. Now, not always, but most of the time. Well, that's all I want for these dogs. Look at these dogs. They're out here playing and carrying on, and Bella is able to, you know, to be a part of the group now. You know, in the very beginning, I had to put her around just the mentor dogs because, like, for this cycle, I'm working on something for my online course, and so I took a whole bunch of dogs like that were in mid to late adolescence, and so they're all a little wacky in their own way, you know. Like when you have, like, dogs like Molly or Barkley. Where's Barkley? Or Barkley, or somewhere around here is Pete. You know, they're friendly, outgoing dogs, but they lacked a little bit of structure during their formative time. They lacked the proper type of socialization. All three of the dogs got a lot of socialization. They just didn't get like socialization in a structured format that made them like understand, you know, their responsibilities as it relates to what they gain access to in the environment. Okay, and that's super important. That's a big thing that, you know, that's kind of a side topic, but like you'll hear some people like criticize trainers like me who say that tired dog is a good dog, right? Well, they just criticize it like most of the people that criticize these first two videos because they don't have the proper perspective. They don't have the proper experience, right? There's very few people who do exactly what I do, okay? And, you know, like, I'm not saying I'm the best at anything. What I'm saying is I'm competent, right? I mean, look, I got all these dogs out here, and I'm talking to you guys, and I want to know that while I'm talking to you guys on the video, or if I'm at a barbecue, or I'm out fishing, or I'm at the park and I'm going hiking, or I'm playing frisbee with my kids, I want to know that my dogs are making good decisions. See how these dogs have kind of found them a piece of grapevine over here, and they're playing with it. They might even be scuffling over it a little bit, but you know, no blood, no foul. Okay, that's what I want, you know. And so what do I get for my efforts? I get people telling me, Stonnie, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not as good dog trainer as blah. And then I ask every one of them, I'm like, hey, listen, take your video camera, go outside, show me what you know better than me. Show me that you have a nicer facility. Show me that you have more expertise. Show me that you have more competence. Show me that you have better work ethic. And all they do is type, 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 type. But I don't see anybody actually stepping up to the plate and showing me, okay? And that's all I'm trying to do with you guys. I'm just trying to show you some of the stuff I do here at the kennel. I'm not trying to like get a whole bunch of dogs that are reactive or under-socialized to come here. That's not my gig, right? Here's my gig on YouTube. I like to attract people that are like me, people that are forward thinking, people that like to get out, get moving, do interesting things, and they want their dogs to tag along and have a good time regardless of what the activity that they're engaging in. You know, that's what I want, right? All right, listen, I'm gonna cut that part of the video out because the cameraman started giving me this number, which means, hey, Stonnie, you're getting off on a rant. And for any of you guys that read my comment section, you know how I get sometimes. And I'm really working on that. I'm trying to get that under control, you know. So, back to the dog, the actual dog. All right, so Saturday, I showed you what would happen, like if this dog was put in a stressful situation. She'd make some threat displays, and she might even like snip or be a little bit violent. Okay, so whatever. And then like on Tuesday or something, we went out back and I took her with the mentor dogs. And then today what we're talking about is how we're putting her in her actual peer group, and we're trying to make her want to be in class. So we'll take Barkley, and as I'm walking Barkley, come on Bella, I'm going to be working with Barkley. So Barkley's working on his formal schoolwork, right? But I'm going to like reward Bella a lot just for being in class and being like, you know, a part of what's going on. So like I'm working with Barkley, and then like if I see Bella, she doesn't have to be doing anything particular. I just want her kind of like, you know, wanting to hang around and wanting to do stuff. And look, if Mudge comes over, I'm going to reward Mudge, and I'm going to say, hey, I like that, okay? Because this is my theory, guys. Once I can get a dog to be confident enough to be in class, right, I'm starting to make good headway. A confident student is like fun to deal with. Now, if I can get a confident student that actually wants to learn something because they see that learning something is going to work out to their benefit, I mean, what more could a teacher ask for? I mean, ask any teacher in the world, if you could have a room full of confident, outgoing students that like to learn because they understand that it's in their best interest, you know, would that make your job easier? Sure. And this is the big mistake that I feel like most people, whether they're professional dog trainers or novice dog trainers, make. They don't spend enough time making sure that they're working with good students. Right? You know, so sometimes people ask me, hey, Stonnie, why do you use such a limited vocabulary? Because, I mean, when I'm talking to dogs, what do I say? I say, come, let's go, hup, easy, wait, and stay, right? I mean, that's it. You know, you'll notice you don't hear me saying sit versus down very often. Like, there's a lot of things that a lot of people work on that I just don't work on because I don't find it particularly useful for the kind of things that I do. And trust me, guys, I do a lot of things. I mean, there's very few people that during the week do a broader range of activities than I do that are outside, okay? And so if I can make it through a whole week or a whole year or a whole decade or multiple decades with come, let's go, hup, easy, wait, and stay, then I'm pretty sure that my clients can make it through however many years they're gonna have their dog with that same vocabulary. But I'm not trying to limit their vocabulary. You know, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give them a foundation, you know, and I feel like a dog trainer's main job is to give, now see that dog barking? What she's done is the way those dogs are over there in the shade and they're kind of silhouetted. And so this dog says, hey, Stonnie, I can't remember what that is. That might be a threat over there, and that's what's called an alert bark. Now, you notice these labs aren't doing that? Because they're labs. Now, they will alert bark, but the thing that they alert bark at usually has to be something really outside of the stuff that you see on a day-to-day basis. These German Shepherds, I mean, come on. I don't understand when I say these dogs get scared easy. Like, I can't believe people even want to like do that thing where they like start to nitpick at the vocabulary, and they're like, Stonnie, they're not scared, they're suspicious. If you're suspicious of something, what are you suspicious of? You're suspicious that that thing is going to cause you some type of harm, right? And what's fear? Fear is a sense of impending danger or harm. So, like, let's not get caught up in the minutia of the vocabulary. It is what it is, you know. Stop pretending, you know. Now, so you say, Stonnie, well, that dog's barking at something that it really shouldn't bark at. Do you need to correct it? Well, I'm not saying that wouldn't work. I mean, listen, you can use good old-fashioned traditional training to solve lots and lots of problems. But for me personally, I got a big facility. I get paid by the day. I'm in no hurry, so my default method of dealing with problems is via exercise and tons of socialization and like structured positive reinforcement activity. Does that mean that I'm some kind of like scaredy cat pansy that won't correct a dog? Well, no, of course not. Like, do you think I'm gonna let a dog get run over by a car? You think I'm gonna let a dog get in a fight with a big pit bull down at the park? No, listen, I'll be as mean as I have to be. I just, I try to keep that in reserve. So when I see a dog like this who maybe sees like this time of day where the sun's over there, when I have clients, they're all silhouetted against the sun, all these prick-eared dogs like this, they bluff charge them and bark at them. I don't need to, I mean, I could correct them and make them stop. I don't need to though. I just need to keep them having that experience and seeing that those type of things lead to something good, right? Same thing with this, with what I'm doing right here, okay? Now, you'll notice that I'm trying to encourage Bella, who is not as good at it as Barkley, the dog I was working at before. I'm trying to encourage her to do some formal schoolwork here, right? I'm trying to work on her vocabulary, work on her physical skills. I'm not spending too much time on her vocabulary since I'm talking to you guys, but she kind of gets the picture. Now, my theory here is, again, with just like, we're always progressively loading our tasks, right? So we went from a mentor dog to multiple mentor dogs to a small version of her peer group to a larger version of her peer group to just wanting to be in class and be engaged to actually doing the class work, right? And so now she's just kind of following along with these other dogs, doing the class work, and I'm still in the pretty heavy reinforcement phase, right? But by getting the dog to do physically and mentally challenging activities, I'm building her confidence. And you might say, well, Stonnie, flesh that out a little bit. Well, here's what I mean. Confidence comes from success, right? So it doesn't, if you need to build your dogs, like, if you need to build their self-confidence, then what you have to do is you have to find something that allows them to be successful. And like these are the things that people, they just skip out on. Like I was telling you, people want to jump. They want to like talk the big words, right? They want to talk about remedial socialization or counter conditioning or, flooding or blah, 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 puke, blah, right? Okay, when it's a little bit more simple than that. Let's exercise the dogs because there's an inverse relationship between exercise and anxiety. And then let's find some things during the day for the dog to do that makes the dog feel successful. Now, any of you guys out there that have competed in sports, you understand that there's all kinds of levels to like success, right? So if you're a kid that doesn't get much playing time, if you get some playing time, that's success. If you're the starter on the varsity basketball team, well, then like you probably want to score a bunch of points. And so for every one of these dogs, I have to have like a sliding scale for success, right? So I have to be willing to pet and praise and reward this dog at a lower, what would be objective threshold than say a dog like Barkley, okay? Because Barkley, like he'll try anything. He's the kid that would jump off the roof and into the swimming pool. He was the first kid to climb up on the rock quarry, right, and jump off the rock quarry into the lake. But that kid always has trouble sitting still and listening to the English teacher, right? Okay, so like on a dog like Barkley, if I say, hey, let's try something really hard, he's like, yeah, boss, let's get up there and let's do it. If I say, hey, let's try to be really quiet while I teach class, he doesn't do so well, right? Okay, so I just have to what I do is I build on what they do well, okay? And if you build on what a dog does well, over the course of time, it gradually squeezes out what they do not so well, right? There's only 24 hours in a day. Some of that's spent sleeping and the rest of it is spent doing stuff. Well, the more stuff that you do that's on the right track means the less time that you have to be doing stuff that's on the wrong track, okay? Now, notice what we've done with this dog. Saturday, I just showed you, this is her, right? In her under-socialized state, this is her. And then I put her around some mentor dogs and we took a walk. And then I come out here today and I showed you how her peer-to-peer integration's going. And I could have stopped it there, but I wanted to give you a little bit more insight about how I build confidence, so I showed you how I incorporate her into the classroom format, right? And then once I saw that she was like, kind of buying into the classroom format, then I said, hey, how about this? How about you do a little schoolwork? and we just did a little schoolwork, and there were a few times there where like she was pulling on the leash and like, you know, kind of not wanting to do something, or maybe not doing it as well as dogs you've seen in the past, okay? Did I fuss at her? Did I correct her? Did I judge her in some way? No, I just said, look, you know, we'll take what you're doing, and that'll be good enough for today. And then tomorrow I'll ask a little more out of her, and the day after that I'll ask a little more. And eventually, you know, like the dog and I will come to a pretty good agreement on what are a reasonable set of expectations for her in a broad range of environmental conditions, okay? Now, does that mean that this dog's ever going to be like Pete, this dog? No. For sure not. I mean, it's just not going to happen, right? You know, but is Pete going to be like Barkley? You know, no, there's a lot of room in the dog world for dogs to be good in their own way, you know. And so don't take it so personally when a person like me, who I work with dogs every day, I mean, the amount of days that I'm not at this kennel, you can count on one hand per year, right? I mean, it's almost never. I'm with dogs all the time, and my job is to manage dogs in situations that mimic real life. I'm not on a training field. I don't have my dogs on electric collars and long lines all the time. I'm not jerking them every time that, you know, you walk. I'm living with them, guys, because what I do as a dog trainer is I remove the impediments that keep owners from being able to fully integrate dogs into their lifestyles, right? So I live the lifestyle of the people that I work for, right? And that's why I'm not trying to take all parts of the dog business. I'm not trying to like step on anybody's toes in terms of competition training, or if you want to do a pretend protection dog sport, I don't care. I mean, do whatever you want to. You guys can even use your own vocabulary. That's fine, as long as you're using it between yourselves. But don't come onto my channel when I'm using the vocabulary the way it should be used so that everybody can understand, right? And give me a hard time, right? Because ultimately, if we get down to the brass tacks of the matter, right, there's plenty of things that if I start picking at what you guys are doing, you're not going to like, you know. So my best advice to you is just leave me alone, you know. If you don't think you can learn something from my videos, watch somebody else's videos. If you want to make a video critiquing my work, I probably won't say anything because I don't even watch, you know, dog training videos. I watch van life videos because my fantasy, like, is to close up shop and live in a van, right? But if you comment on my channel, then listen, come strong. You know, you comment on my channel, like lay your arguments out and then be prepared to defend them, you know? Okay, and we'll see. We'll see who's right and we'll see who's wrong. Because here's the claim I'm making. I'm really good at getting dogs to come when they're called, to be still when they're told, and have good manners. I ain't making any claim other than that. I know a lot. I am an expert on living with dogs. I've lived with dogs for a long time in a broad range of situations, doing a whole lot of different stuff, right? Okay, and so I am competent, and like I don't know how many people are competent, but most of you guys that are in the comment section, you're not competent and you're leading people astray because you don't like the truth. Okay, so here's the truth. Wherever, hey, come here, dogs. Look, here's the truth right here. This is the truth. You see, this dog a week ago, I got all kinds of comments about, you know, oh, Stonnie, it's not fair. You used a German Shepherd that had a bad temperament. What? She ain't got a bad temperament. She's just under-socialized like most dogs. She's just not exactly the right dog for the spot that she's living in, and the owner didn't realize what all would be involved in managing that kind of dog, okay? So, like, as this video series plays out, you know, you're gonna see who's right, and it's me. And still, here's what I'm saying. I'm gonna make this point every video, I hope, to remember, right? Which is, don't buy the wrong kind of dog for your lifestyle. And if you buy one of these kind of dogs in particular, this kind of dog right here, right? Any of these like dogs that look like this one, any version of them, okay? Like once you've bought the dog, it's imperative on you to like make sure that you exercise the dog properly and socialize them during the formative time of their lives, right? Okay? So you can take all that focused healing and whatever you're working on, throw it out to it. It's not important, right? It's not really important at all. Okay, what's important is that your dog will come when you call it, be still when you tell it, and has good manners from your neighbor's perspective. Get that. Then you can work on stuff, whatever, if you want to. But nobody really wants to, right? Okay? All right, so I'll check in with you guys next week, and we'll see where the dog's at, and hopefully she'll be doing a little better.